Something already tells me that this is going to attract some hate, and I should probably be careful with my words. But where's the fun in being careful? And moreover, I need to speak up about this. So as you probably know, controversies are everywhere, and I'm starting to think it's impossible to avoid them. Someone did this, another said that, this guy is a lunatic, this woman is a bitch, the list freaking goes on, and it won't end in this lifetime, I'm afraid. Now, controversies aren't a new thing at all, but they feel more frequent, I suppose. It's impossible to go online, or hell, even go outside, without hearing about something controversial going on in the world. Some of those controversies are very much valid, and they deserve to be making headlines. Others, I feel, go overboard and are turning an ant into a skyscraper for no damn reason. While the topic is large, I want to talk about the recent controversy, which, if you're watching this video, you probably heard about and are either furious about it, as you should be, or protecting a bunch of people who shouldn't be protected. The controversy surrounding the new Harry Potter game Hogwarts Legacy. Now, before we dive in, let me just say that if you bought the game, not caring about the bad things surrounding it and are having a good time with it, then I wish you to continue and enjoy it. I can't stop you, and I'm not here to lecture anyone. That being said, the people behind the game crossed some lines, and I have the right to point those out. Before we dig in though, I want to state something. I am a Harry Potter fan. I read the books, I watched the movies, I even play most of the games Goblet of Fire sucks. I was waiting for something like Hogwarts Legacy to exist, for as long as I can remember basically. Be a student at the wizarding school, pick my house Ravenclaw for life, go on an adventure in the wizarding world? Sounds awesome! I point this out in order to make it clear to you that my decision to boycott the game didn't come lightly. When it was announced, I wanted to buy this game and tell all of my friends about how awesome it is. But if this is how the people behind it are acting, well, let's go into the details now. So to quickly recap, Hogwarts Legacy is a game which lets you become part of the Harry Potter universe. You can customize your own character and go on adventures in the wizarding world, which is an idea I really dig when it comes to video games, as I stated earlier. However, it just so happens that in recent years, the woman behind Harry Potter turned into what I can only describe as a combination of Rita Skeeter and Dolores Umbridge. To not Potter fans out there, that's one deathly hollow if I ever saw one. J.K. Rowling isn't only a transphobe. She's fucking proud of it. And she'll gladly make money out of publicly shaming and insulting a group of real, existing, breeding people. People who helped her make her fortune, by the way. I may not be trans myself, and I don't claim to speak in the name of trans people in this video, but I have friends who are trans. A lot of them were fans of Harry Potter. How would it feel to you if the creator of a franchise which meant so much to you just told you or your friends that you have no right to exist and happily claims that the money she makes out of humiliating you publicly helps her sleep better at night? Sounds pretty insulting to me. Now, I'm aware that Rowling isn't directly involved in the game, and therefore any beef people have with her shouldn't impact their will to buy the game or not. But who are you kidding? She's getting royalties out of this, because guess what? She owns the IP. She created the damn franchise and she's still involved with it, even if she's not impacting the game directly. Whatever amount of money this game makes, some of it will make its way to her, and that is a fact. Ergo, people voice their intention to not buy the game in order to not support such a creator. And to those who point out that there are trans characters in the game, and you can even make your avatar character a trans one, you need to realize this is like applying a band-aid in case your arm just fell off. Rowling makes money out of this? She can donate it to anti-trans organizations, and she did so in the past. No fictional avatars can stop that. Maybe this seems like a welcome idea on paper, but it doesn't matter if the one causing the damage still makes money. What about the people who developed the game, though? They're not to blame for Rowling's shit, I hear you saying. And you're right. They're not to blame for her BS. But they're to blame for the clear signs of anti-Semitism present in the game, which no, you can convince me it wasn't intentional. I may not be able to speak for the trans side of this controversy, but I am Jewish. And you can't convince me that the anti-Semitics in this game aren't intentional. Need proof? Well, I'm so glad you asked. It ain't news that the goblins in Harry Potter were always seen as a Jewish metaphor and caricature. And to be honest, looking back at it with that perspective in hindsight, yeah, it makes it a bit uncomfortable. But you know what? The Campaign Against Anti-Semitism charity defended the goblins and said that Rowling is actually supporting the Jewish community. She did say she finds dressing up as a Nazi arousing, but let's stay on topic. So the goblins are safe when it comes to the movies and books. Let's assume that for the sake of the argument. Well, Hogwarts Legacy is here to fuck it up. The main plot of this game is a fucking blood libel. Goblins want to take away kids' blood in order to perform a ritual to destroy their enemies. Enemies which they feel oppress them and they are rebelling against by wanting to kill the oppressors. Well, gee, does that sound familiar? And as it turns out, the leader of the goblins is willing to team up with the people who hate and oppress him for material gain. So not only does the game imply Jewish people kidnap children and perform satanic blood rituals, but they also support the atrocious and repulsive conspiracy that Jewish people funded the Holocaust in order to milk up money afterwards. What kind of sick monster do you have to be to come up with something like this? But the writers are working with the rules established by the universe. Yeah, whatever. For one, they could have come up with a plot which has nothing to do with the goblins. This game does take place decades, if not centuries, before the story of Harry Potter, right? So why not make up a new race which wasn't seen as a possible anti-Semitic caricature before, huh? And if you just had to do the goblins, why not do your fucking research on what to avoid regarding this topic? This was planned, people. Need more proof? Good, because I have it. In what year did the Goblin Uprising take place? 1612. The same year as the uprising in which Jewish people were banished from Frankfurt. Thank you for asking. And do I need to mention the shofar? The horn which we blow at the start of every Jewish New Year. A holy tune which we are blessed with hearing every year. Yeah, it was used during that uprising as a battle cry, and the trolls also use it to annoy witches and wizards. These are intentional. They had to model the shofar. They needed to write this description. They came up with the year. They wrote their story. They made the blood label a part of the story. They choose the characters which represent Jewish people in this franchise. They knew. You can't convince me otherwise. And I'm not even bringing up all the things people have found out in this cursed piece of programming. If it were one thing, I could have let it slide. But all of this? No way. These motherfuckers knew what they were doing, and if you make a game that targets my religion, and by extension me like that, then you know what? I can make a video calling whoever was involved in making all of this happen a racist motherfucker. And it's not like they care, right? And you know what? If you do, then you can wipe all the tears of the nasty things I'm saying to you with all the money this game is sadly making. I'm sure that'll make you feel better. Okay. So, I got my points out. I am not buying this game. I never will. It doesn't need my money, as established, and even if it did, I won't give it. I'm skipping what might be my dream Harry Potter game, because if the game and the people involved with it attack me and my friends, then this ain't no game. It's a nightmare. On the off chance fans of the game stuck until this part, I hope this game continues to provide you joy, and I am glad it's rocking your socks off, and that you can ignore the things which bother me, and enjoy it for what it is. As I said at the start of the video, I'm not here to lecture to anyone, and I'm not going to harass people who bought and are enjoying the game for being able to ignore those things. But at the same time, if you're allowed to enjoy the game despite everything I just said, I'm allowed to voice my gripes with what the game represents and the insulting way in which it's doing so. You don't have to agree with me, but respect my decision as I'm respecting yours. I already know some won't, and I can see some comments who won't pay attention to what I'm saying, but that just proves to me I don't need to give a damn about what they have to say. So what am I going to do if I'm not going to play the new Hogwarts game? Well, I know, I'm going to watch the movie which destroyed Dumbledore at the box office. Talk to you later.